If you're always busy, always numbing, or always chasing the next thing, this chapter explains the real reason you're running from a tidal wave of pain, and the only way out is through. This is chapter 3 of There's a Hole in My Love Cup. You're running. Quick note, this is for reflection and education, not therapy or medical advice. Chapter 3, you're running. Do you want to know the reason you're smoking so much weed, addicted to lots and lots of sleep, surrounding yourself with incessant commotions of crazy kid schedules, to lots of dogs and animals, from constant appointments to ever demanding career, so addicted to your sports teams, holed up in bed away from responsibilities, spouse, and life, having sex with and concomitantly obsessing over another woman's husband or another man's wife, as well as subsequently lying about it, constantly looking forward to the next vacation, trying to constantly get away, shopping, 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 and more shopping, pasted to the couch watching insane amounts of TV, drinking 3 to 4 cocktails every night, working 4 jobs, working crazy hours week in and week out, year in and year out, betting so much money on football, baseball, and other sports, meanwhile missing family events because you're on your cell or in the other room tracking all the college scores, spending so much time staying as busy as possible, still caught in the loop of that eating disorder, overdoing the fitness schedule, ingesting crazy amounts of prescription medications even though your physical health is good, addicted to yoga, going to several classes per day, every day, pushing as hard as you can on seemingly endless caffeine, unable and unwilling to sit still for more than 15 minutes, incessantly in motion, continuing to attract friends and lovers and even family members who hurt you. The simple truth is, you're madly engaged in these neurotic paths because you're running. Plain and simple. As hard as you can. You're doing everything in your power to run from that tidal wave of pain that's been chasing you your whole life. You're tired and running to keep that lifetime of feelings from rising up inside of you, ringing in your ears and knocking you down. You sell it as running to so much in life, but in truth, you're always running from that great unseen force that you dare not talk about or even take a moment to think about. So terrifying is the nearness in your life. You're either running from your incredibly, ridiculously painful past and present, the mind-numbing dissatisfaction and boredom of your life, all the voices in your life that have been telling you what to do and how to run your life, or all the voices in your life that are forever criticizing you. The fear of that wave of pain overwhelming you is so great that you run as hard as you possibly can. You do everything in your power to keep those voices inside you from rising up and consuming you. You're certain they would kill you if they caught you. And so you run in every direction and in no direction. And yet the real truth and tragedy of it all is there will be no joy until you have the courage to let that giant tidal wave overwhelm you. Let it knock you down. Let it rise up from within you and finally pass out of you. Until you actually face that which terrifies you most, you will forever run. The wave is always there until you face it. Running without knowing you're running. Hope, a Pacific Northwest client in her mid-40s, recently told me she had an epiphany to end all epiphanies. While in her final moments of her Sunday morning yoga class, Sven, for whatever reason, I was thinking about the birth of my first of 3 sons. 23 years ago, I had invited my older sister into my room for the whole birthing process. I wanted to honor her and make her feel loved by sharing my most special moment in my life. And it was the craziest thing. Right after my son came out and was being weighed and cleaned by the nurses, my sister, who had birthed both of her children by C-section, in that sacred moment of my greatest joy and greatest vulnerability, said to me, "You are so weak. You complained through the whole thing." Sven, she continued, it hit me on that yoga floor Sunday that I have been defending myself for 23 years, and I started to cry. What what you've been telling me finally sunk in. There is this whole deep well of pain that I never even knew was there. I've been running from that pain without even realizing I was running from it because I've always just been defending myself. I never knew that there was a pain behind it and under it, but I did what you told me to do whenever pain comes up. I just sat in it. I let myself cry the whole day. And it was scary because I realized how big it was and that it went back with her long before Tommy was born. Hope you never knew that her pain was there because she was too busy protecting herself from the aggressive older sister and younger brother. 23 years. She never knew that going into that pain could yield such fruit. Defending oneself is the natural response to a perceived threat, but few of us are ever taught that there are a second step, to go past the defense and anger, to allow oneself to feel the original pain that was inflicted. By seeing it, acknowledging it, and feeling it, we purge it. When it is out of us, it is no longer in us, and we are no longer running. That is healing. Sven, by the end of the weekend, I felt better already. I knew there was a whole lot more that needed to come out, but I already felt lighter just from what that one day of mourning brought. It was amazing. I know my life is going to be different now. I get it, Sven. I finally get what you've been teaching me. I finally experienced it. I'm actually excited to find more painful experiences in my past because I want even more lightness.
What if your birth chart could tell you exactly how you manifest best? You've got air, water, fire, and earth in your chart, but how you work with them, that's where the real magic is. Welcome to your elemental magic reading, a reading that's part astrology, part ritual science, and all you. I'm not just reading your chart, I'm decoding how you move energy from the idea to the emotion, to the action, to the result. Find out which one runs your life and which one's asleep at the wheel. This reading will call it out with love and fire. Rituals customized to your energy, not some copy-paste Pinterest witchcraft. Want to know how you have magic? This elemental magic reading isn't just a vibe, it's the first key into the vault of the Alchemist Laboratory. This isn't about memorizing astrology, it's about learning to live it. Book your elemental magic reading now. Alchemist Lab members get first dibs, deeper discounts, and secret sources. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, there's still time to remember.
The cure for pain is in the pain. Rumi, Sufi poet. Facing the fears. Interestingly, whether it's a hardcore addiction, defensiveness, or a serious compulsion that you just can't seem to stop, even if you know it's killing you, your addiction and the facing of your fears are inversely proportional. The more you go into your deepest fears, the more your compulsive, defensive, and destructive behaviors decrease. See, the more you face your heaviest fears, the less power they have over you, because they release the burden on your heart. Looking at and sitting in the fears have the profound effect of near completely eliminating their power over you. Thus, not only does your confidence increase, which is nice, but less significant effect, but what also increases is the room in your head and heart. For the grand effect of it all is the killing of the voices, fear, and sheer volume of the people you've been running from. Therefore, your need to run is radically reduced. The pot smoking, the drinking, obsessive exercising, absorption into your kids' lives, and so forth all fade away. The soul no longer needs them as an escape mechanism. You are creating a life you no longer feel the need to run from. Life itself makes you happy. On the flip side, the less you face your fears, the more your addictions and/or compulsions continue to increase. Also, quite interesting in this equation is the fact that just reducing your addictions does not have the effect of reducing the fears driving them, which is a common mistake of those just treating behaviors. Without addressing the underlying fears and core beliefs, nothing changes in the long term. And worse still, There is no external reality that can make the internal reality permanently go away. One of the greatest myths that keeps you stuck in an unhappiness and fear is if I can just change my external circumstances or get more of everything money, love, security, fame, respect, possessions then my inside reality will change. The tidal wave will go away. That really is one of life's greatest disappointments and shocks. No amount of stuff or experiences can, in the long run, make that hole inside full or make soul pain disappear. Most people don't experience the truth of that until middle age. And it is a brutal, brutal teacher. You realize you've spent decades pursuing a myth, spent your whole life on a path that holds nothing at the end. Sure, it had some fun times along the way, perhaps even provided you a decent living, but that gaping hole inside of you, or that gnawing truth that you've been running from, it's still there, waiting for you like an old foe waiting to be vanquished. So, you can keep running, if you like, if you think the running will help, i.e., if you're still too scared to turn and look at it all in the face. You can just be as stubborn as you want to be. Perhaps even take pride in your stubbornness. Perhaps convinced you can solve it all yourself and that you don't need anyone's help. Go ahead, stubbornly run. Here's the real truth of the matter. Your pain will get worse. This stuff doesn't magically go away. This stuff doesn't magically heal itself. No. When the gods talk, they will be heard and heeded. You can attempt to quiet their voices with all of your pursuits. You can attempt to quiet the voices of your very own soul, longing to be heard so that you can be set free. You can keep running, or at least try. But the gods will exact their wrath on a life that they know to be less than you, a life that they wish to extract from you. The universe, your own soul, longs to lead you to higher ground and immensely greater joy. But we so cling to that which is secure. Security is safe. And the soul and the universe are not the least bit interested in safe. They exist to lead you to an abundant life, fulfilled life, exhilarating life, that which you know you want but are terrified to pursue. And so they whisper, that still small voice in the bottom of your soul, that tiny pulse rising up from deep within, longing to be heard. Everything else is fiction and ultimately a dead end. Until we have communion with and act on that whisper of the soul, there is nothing but fulfillment, churning of the gut, spinning of the mind, and joylessness and anxiety. Do you have the courage to find and heed your voice? Song recommendation. 1. A great song that gets our society obsessed with running from our problems, particularly in using drugs to run. I love this song, so intense. Kevin, featuring Leon Bridges by Malcolm Moore and Ryan Lewis. 2. The singer and wordsmith who provided the soundtrack for the most intense 10 to 15 years of my own spiritual journey was Dan Fogelberg. The song Ghosts nails the horrible and beautiful memories dripping with high emotion that we run from. They sneak up like ghosts when we're alone, when we're relaxed, and when we're tired. And so we run. Solitude is too scary. Idling is terrifying. Nothing will do except to run until we simply tire of running. Journaling recommendation. 1. What is your preferred means of running? Are you an addict? Do you like the ponies? Jack Daniels. Maybe your poison is good old American overworking and overexercising. Smoke a lot of grass? Paste your butt to the couch and binge incessantly on the golden age of television they say we're in? Or maybe it's sheer busyness, constant movement and constant commotion. Or is it Oreos, pizza, bread, and more food? How are you running? 2. And now the real whopper. When did you start running? I know you're going to say, oh, I don't know, or it came gradually. And maybe both of those answers are true, but I want you to push harder. Give me an answer. Find it. When do you recall the balance being tipped? When do you really most start running? And 3, and what triggered it at that point? I mean, you didn't start running a year or 5 earlier, and you could have started 5 years later. Why did you start running from your feelings at that particular time in life? What happened? 4, from what are you running? What is the one message that you can't bear to hear or look at? 5, what do you most fear in your life? 6, what feelings are you most hiding from? What is the one feeling you are least likely to express in your life or most afraid to express? And 7, can you imagine not running? What are the 5 biggest ways your life would most be different if you were no longer running? And what is the single biggest thing that keeps you from stopping the running? And book recommendation. Buy a copy of the book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford, a great book for diving into the parts of yourself that you've been hiding from and most need to express in order to become full and alive. Take a moment to notice what stirred for you as you listened. You don't need to fix it or understand it yet. If this resonated, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear what stood out for you. You can also find the full series and my work linked below.